Liberation from chaos is just around the corner. At least I hope. It's Scott Beebe with the Business on Purpose podcast. And as always, that's our aim. That's our goal, is to liberate you from any chaos that you're experiencing. So what happens when you have that team member who fits the vision? They fit the mission. They fit the values, but they just don't fit the role. Just got that question from one of our heroic small business owners, and I want to be able to answer that. You know, if you're no stranger to the podcast, you know that we constantly and consistently go back to vision, mission, and values, and it's really starting to take root. We just had this week a huge win at one of our heroic small business owners. What they do requires retail locations, and they decided that they were going to start expanding retail locations. And in that, they have created a systematic process for expansion. It's really been quite impressive, honestly. And just today, at the time of this podcast, they executed their first sale, and the store manager executed their first sale. And you might be like, okay, so like everybody does that. Yeah, but what you don't know about this one is that the owner of the business has not set foot on the site yet since the opening of the store. Now, he was there before, looking around and helping with this and thinking about that, but the reality is they've created a repeatable system. They've done this a couple of times, and because they documented the system and trained their team has started the new store. And so today, they got that first sale. And the text message was, "I can't hardly type, I'm so excited." And that was the store manager. And the business owner has yet to step foot on site because they've done such a great job of training. The reason I'm telling you that story is because it all started with vision, mission, and values. And so we talk about that all the time. And so what happens when somebody fits vision, mission, values, green checkbox the whole way? You're like, man, they are in, but they don't fit the job role. All right, so there's a couple of challenging scenarios you got to work through here. Number one, the obvious one, is you figure out, is there a role within the business that they do fit? And do we have an opening? And if you come to find out there is a role in the business that they fit, then where we go, and you might say, well, Scout, how do I know that? Delegation roadmap. Well, what the heck's a delegation roadmap? It's essentially a list of every single thing that you do in your current role as the owner of the company. And by putting that all on a sheet of paper, and it should be, by the way, 30, 40, 50, 60 task items. By putting that all on a sheet of paper, what you're doing is you can start to put together collections of tasks, so that in those collections of tasks, they turn out into job roles. And with those job roles, then you can determine if you have somebody who's got skill capability to deliver that job role. So you go back and find out, do I have a role for them? How do I know? Delegation roadmap. Okay, we take the delegation roadmap. I literally just got done, and in 13 minutes, we built a job role for a great guy, heroic small business owner who owns a flooring company in Tennessee. We just did it this morning. So I know how long it takes. It doesn't take that long, but you do have to be focused to do it. And so you build that job role from the task on your delegation roadmap, and then you make the determination, does this person have the skill set to fill that role? They fit the vision, mission, values. Well, one thing we need to know also is profile. That's why we recommend DISC profiling. See, we will not offer hiring advice anymore unless somebody has had some sort of metric profile. We use DISC, but we don't really care what it is. We need to know that we've got objective data in determining that. So they might fit the vision, mission, values, but now the question is, do they fit the available role? Notice I said available role. What if you have a role that they would fit perfectly for, but you don't have an opening? Imagine if you were Bill Belichick coaching Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo and Peyton Manning and you had this stable of quarterbacks, and then all of a sudden Joe Montana came on the scene. You might say, well, you'd be an idiot not to bring him on. I think I'd actually be an idiot to bring him on. I've got a stable full of capable, competent people who fit the vision, mission, and values. And so once you determine that, you will come to one of two conclusions. Either you have a role for them or you don't have a role for them. And if you don't have a role for them, do not fit a square peg in a round hole. It's tough news to hear, but it's true. And so I want to encourage you. You got somebody that fits the vision, mission, values? Walk them through the role process. If you have a role and they fit that too, you're in business. If you don't have a role, then it's a challenging conversation. If you do have a role and it's filled, it's a challenging conversation. But that's a little algorithm that you can walk through that's very simple, but it does require discipline and implementation. I hope you'll do it. As always, if you need a vision, mybusinessonpurpose.com/vision. Start there. And if you need a community, join the Systematize My Small Business Facebook group, and we're there to serve you. We'll see you next